Hello, everyone. I am Jamal Sumlin, a seventh grader at Marion-Sterling.
I am Diamond Gary, a fifth grader at Marion-Sterling, and we would like to welcome you to Leadership Day at Marion-Sterling.
Kid, please stand up and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance and our student pledge that is located in the back of your binder. Kid, please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance and our student pledge that is located in the back of your binder. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. At the school of Marion-Sterling, I proactively make a difference in my life and others. I began each task with the end in mind as I learned to put first thing first. I avoid competition by thinking win-win, by seeking first to be understood. I create synergy in my class with others. Thomas. Thank you. To get this day officially started, we welcome our sisters, the Lady Bulldogs. You know I could be a cheerleader if I want to.
Oh, really? Let's see some of your moves.
Yeah. Oh, you don't know how to do that? Baby, do it for me, Grandma. Come on, I'm old and I'm trying to learn it. Well, yeah, do it.
Oh, she got it. We will give her one more round of applause. Dejanay Jacobs is about to tell her speech.
Hi, my name is Dejanay Jacobs, and I've been at Marion-Sterling for 5 years. I've learned that leaders are proactive. This means that they are positive and responsible. I use this habit in cheerleading and in praise dancing. I use them by being responsible for my squad and being responsible for remembering the dance steps. I am positive by always smiling. Leaders also begin with the end in mind. This means that they plan ahead and have a purpose in life. My end in mind is glory because I love debating. So as I close out today, I leave you with one question. What do you think a leader is? Thank you and have a blessed day.
Thank you for sharing. Now we have 7 students to tell us what the 7 habits are.
Hello, Marion-Sterling guests. My name is Heather Jones. I'm a 5th grader at Marion-Sterling. I am also on the Student Lighthouse team. Today I'm going to tell you a little bit about habit 1, be proactive. Be proactive means I'm a responsible person. I take initiative. I'm in charge of my actions, attitudes, and moods. I do not blame others for my wrongdoings. I do the right thing, even when no one's watching. The time I am proactive is when I help my teacher and she doesn't ask me. Thank you. Hi, my name is Kinani Bryan and I am in 3rd grade. I am also a part of the Student Lighthouse team. My habit is habit number 2. Begin with the end in mind. Begin with the end in mind means I plan ahead and set goals. I do things that have a meaning and make a difference. I am an important part of my classroom. I contribute my school's mission and vision. One example is when my mom told me to do my chores. I was already doing them.
Hi, my name is Braylon Harney, and I'm in the 4th grade. Today I will be telling you about habit 3, put first things first. I focus on the things that are most important to me. When I put first things first, I work, then I play.
Hi, my name is Diavion Martin Jones. I am in the 7th grade and also a part of the Student Lighthouse team. Today I will be telling you a little bit about habit 4, think win-win. Now, let me start off by saying that I want everyone to succeed. It makes me happy to see others that are happy, and I can help make choices to help everyone win. Now, a way that I use think win-win in my life is when I'm in a conversation with another person, I can see ways that we both could win. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sharpen. I am a 6th grader at Marion-Sterling. I am currently a part of the Lighthouse team. Habit 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood. I listen to others' ideas and feelings. I try to see things from their viewpoints. I listen to others without interrupting. I am confident in voicing my ideas. I look people in the eye when talking. The way I seek first to understand, then to be understood, is I make sure I understand my mom when she tells me to do something than to misunderstand her.
Hi, my name is Zeta Ward, and I'm in the 7th grade, and I'm on the Student Lighthouse team. My habit number 6, synergize. I get along well with others, even with people who are different than me. I work well in groups.
Hi, my name is Demetrius Jones, and I'm a 6th grader at Marion-Sterling, and my habit is number 6, synergize. I seek out other ideas to solve problems. I know that 2 heads is better than 1. I am humble. An example that me and Jada shared was when we was on the basketball court, we shared the ball equally and make sure both of us participated.
Hi, my name is Marlene Martinez. I'm in the 6th grade and I'm part of the Lighthouse team. My habit is to sharpen the saw. Sharpen the saw means I take care of my body by eating right, exercising, and getting enough sleep. I spend time with my family and friends, and I spend time finding meaningful ways to help others.
Let's give them one more round of applause.
Can you please turn your direction to the screen to hear how we feel about the 7 habits?
We are an investment school, and it's a part of our Cleveland plan with a push to push our schools to go further. So in any other district, it would be called probably a turnaround school. So each school has a professional development partner. We were privileged to have 7 Habits as our partner. And so when I first joined CMSD 3 years ago, that's when I initially learned about the 7 Habits. It was something I was never exposed to or something I never heard of. But I would say 3 years ago is when my life truly changed, just by being introduced to the habits, one as a leader of a school, but also as a change agent and just an educator as a whole.
I think the most important part is just the emphasis that it puts on student ownership and student empowerment. So the idea isn't that, I'm going to teach you this lesson and then you're going to take a test, and after you take that test, it goes away forever. It's kind of the major drive in our school about the 7 habits is the students own it, the students drive it, they decide what it means for them. So when they leave or when they graduate or teachers change positions, things like that, it doesn't matter who your teacher is or what class you're in, it's still something that has become kind of an integral part of like yourself, so it's an internal thing, and so I think there's real power in that it's something that the students are supposed to own and drive.
It teaches you a certain way in life. Even grown-ups can use the 7 habits. You know, work together when you have a job or something, even though you don't like this person. Balance your life, you know, sometimes you can't always think about work. Sometimes, you know, you just gotta relax and be chill.
Because it's about daily life and it's about 21st century skills, preparing them for something that's bigger. I have to use them. I have to be proactive. I have to make sure I'm planning for work. I have to begin with in mind knowing what my students need to do to be successful. So I have to use it in my daily life. So it's just preparing them for a future, for college, for high school, knowing how to navigate through tough situations and just being a better person and seeing the leadership in themselves so they can communicate leadership in others.
After Ms. Chestnut came here, this school was out of control. And until she put the 7 habits in the school, it just straightened up. You can use them as a guide in your life. They help you like manage your anger.
The children really embrace them. I am seeing an increase in positive behavior, proactive behavior in the classroom. The kids are like a family in the classroom now versus when they did not have the habits.
Synergizing is really like a big key to playing basketball because you got to work together and you got to create like a bond, the chemistry with each other, because if you don't got a chemistry with your teammate, how you going to want to play with them?
Putting first thing first means like doing your work before you do any good activities that you want to do after school.
And also it helps because as cheerleaders representing the school and you have little students looking up to you and you don't want an F on your report card.
They're important to use to change your life, and you need to use them to pass grades. And you need them to follow your education, get your good degree, and finish out your day strong.
I use the 7 habits. The habit I use is to synergize. I synergize by helping other people with their lines if they don't know them. Cinderella, Cinderella, it's the tale of Cinderella. She's a very pretty maiden, and everybody loves her, except of course her sisters. They're very, very jealous. They treat her like a maiden, make her do the laundry too, and we'll see dreams indeed come true for Cinderella.
We don't call it a program, it's more so a way of life that we know will impact our students not only here but beyond when they leave the walls of Marion-Sterling. It's really a way that we enhance leadership and we teach leadership to our students. It's all about finding that unique thing that every student has within them that they can lead, and knowing that leadership looks different based off of who it is, where it's coming from, and what your lens is as a whole. We tell the students, first you make your habits, then your habits make you. And so we're really teaching them how to create and use positive habits in terms of setting up what their life will look like. Because we know if we teach these things now, when they're 5, when they're 6, we think about them in 20 years when they're the people who are taking care of us. I want someone who's proactive taking care of me. I want someone who's going to put first things first, who's going to teach my children. And so in thinking about those things, these are the habits that you want people to have in terms of just making the world a better place.
I am a leader.
I'm a leader.
I am a leader.
We are the Marion-Sterling Bulldogs and we are leaders.
We are the cast of Cinderella and we are leaders. We are the Lady Bulldogs and we are leaders.
I am a leader.
I am a leader.
I am a leader.
I am a leader.
If you wanted to, you can be a leader. If you wanted to, who's that trying to step to us? Watch out, step back, the Bulldogs are back. You go to work, I'm here to fight.
The 7 habits have made a huge difference in our lives and our school. What's your favorite habit, Jamal?
My favorite habit is be proactive. Be proactive means never go down the wrong path with the wrong people. Always stay focused and motivated wherever you're doing. What about you?
My favorite habit is put first things first because it is an important habit to our school.
Now, we will have one of my teammates, Kieran Gillespie, one of the best basketball players in Marion-Sterling after me, come talk about his journey in leadership.
Hello, my name is Kieran Gillespie. I'm an 8th grader at Marion-Sterling. And the thing that leadership means the most to me about is the 7 habits, because I use the 7 habits through basketball. And the ways I use it through basketball is by being proactive on and off the court, being a student athlete, which means I have to put first things first. And then we began with the end in mind, because through the whole season, we made sure that we told each other that we were going to win the championship, and we kept working hard and striving for more so that we could win the championship, and we succeeded. We thought win-win, because no matter when we lost or when we won, we always made sure we kept our heads up, had a good attitude, and won like gentlemen. We used habit 5, seek first to understand, then to be understood, because we would listen to our coach, and then me and my co-captain Jamal, we would have to listen to our coach and listen to him on and off the court, because at practice he'll tell us the practice plays if he couldn't make it to practice. So while we were at practice, we'd have to be the coach, and then while we were on the court, we'd have to tell them the plays we would have to do and all other stuff like that. And then the biggest thing about any sport you play, you have to synergize, because if you don't have good team chemistry, you can't play as a team and as a unit, and you won't be good and you won't win a championship. And then the second most is sharpen the saw, because you got to make sure you're healthy and fit, and if you're not healthy and fit, then you won't be able to run back and forth off the court and score, play defense. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Now let's please welcome Miss Chestnut and Stanley Turpin to tell us about the Leader in Me journey.
Can we give the students one more round of applause, please? I think we can do a little better than that. Our students have worked extremely hard. We've been on this journey for 3 years now. This is our 3rd year as a Leader in Me school. And I say a journey because it's truly been just that. Most people in this room are in Leader in Me schools as well. And so you know the process and what it takes and all the work that it takes to do just the simple things as far as today. And so I couldn't be more prouder of our students and all the work they have done and the changes that it's made in our school specifically. Typically, for the Leader in Me, you don't see it in our type of schools. You don't see it in urban settings. And so I've been very privileged, and I'm happy that our kids are learning these habits, because these can be habits that can save their lives. And as I mentioned before in the video, these are the type of habits you want people to embody. Because when we work with children and we're teaching them and we're educating them, those will be the people who will take care of us, and those will be the people who will take care of our children. And so I want someone who's taking care of my children to be proactive. I want them to put first things first. And so I'm very proud of the students and all the work that they have done this year and in the years to come that relate to the 7 habits. So this day is not about the adults, it's all about the children. So I'm actually going to send it back to the MCs. But if you look in tab 3, you can see our student data. We are an investment school in Cleveland. And so an investment school is typically a turnaround school. We're one of 23 schools with the designation. And so we're very proud of the strides that we have made from this year, from 3 years ago when we first became an investment school. So you can see in terms of where we stand. Did I get the wrong tab? I'm sorry, tab 2. And it has our school data for this quarter. And so there's things that we see in this school that you typically don't see. So in Cleveland, we take something called the conditions for learning. In all of our metrics for the past year, we've been over the 90th percentile for if our students feel safe, if they feel supported, if they feel challenged. So that's definitely something to celebrate, and I think that's a big part of because our students feel like they're leaders and they feel as if they're empowered in everything they do. So as a team of staff members, we make sure that we're constantly supporting them and constantly pulling out their leadership. And this is a testament in terms of what you see today. So I'll turn it back over to our MCs. Thank you.
Thank you again. This year, I was able to be a peer mentor with Ms. Cassardi. Now, we got one new student. His name is Deshaun Coleman. He started wanting to be a peer mentor because he saw me and Kieran, Charlicia, and Eric Marks be a peer mentor that started the group this year. So he wanted to be one, and we let him join it to help. Here he come right now.
My name is Deshaun Coleman. Hi, my name is Deshaun Coleman. I'm current mentor for Marion-Sterling. I'm in the 6th grade. I'm gonna talk to you how I've been a parent mentor. I've been a parent mentor. It made me feel good and be successful for my life, and improve my behavior and my attendance and my actions around the school. Last year, I used to been making bad choices and getting in trouble a lot. But when I came a parent mentor, I made smarter choices and see how the kids look up to me and see how they want to be like me. And when when Mr. Sauter tell me how I've been gone, and when the kids be missing me and they said they be pouting because I'm not here, that make me feel good too. And like a lot of things more. Thank you.
The peer mentors help me and help me be a leader.
Can you please direct the direction to the agenda that is located in your binder? Leaders, heroes, agenda. Begin with the end in mind, 9:15, pre-registration. Put first things first. 9:30, introduction and breakfast. Synergize, 10:05 to 11:15, class visit. Sings to understand and to be understood. 11:15 to 12:15, student performance and leadership drill. Sharpen the sun. 12:15 and 12:30, dismiss. Sweet surprise. Thank you.
Now we will need you to look at your bag to identify what group you are.
Our tour guides will join us in front and dismiss one group at a time.
Good. Did everybody enjoy their tours? That's perfect. Wonderful, wonderful. So first we're going to have some performances. And first we're going to have Cinderella. So give it up for them. Clap for the students. Yeah. There we go. So next we got first grade doing a performance for y'all called The Leader in Me. The Leader in Me by Miss Boyd. Give it up for first grade. Come on.
We are the future leaders, that's what they say. But if we wait for the future, we'll be too late. So we'll wait till tomorrow, our time is now. And with this 7 habits, we'll show you how. You gotta be proactive. Begin with the end in mind. But first things first, think win-win every time. Seek first to understand. That's what we understood. Synergize with your friends, 'cause it's always better when we work together. Sharpen the saw, be the best me, so you can see there's a leader in me. There's a leader in me. I can lead myself, I can lead my friends, I can do anything. There's a leader in me. There's a leader in me. The 7 habits help me see. There's a leader in me. There's a leader in me. Now you don't have to wonder, there is no need. The 7 habits tell you how you can lead. If someone had the answer, know what to do. Going one minute longer, it's up to you. You gotta be proactive. Begin with the end in mind. But first things first, think win-win every time. Seek first to understand. That's what we understood. Synergize with your friends, 'cause it's always better when we work together. Sharpen the saw, be the best me, so you can see there's a leader in me. There's a leader in me. I can lead myself, I can lead my friends, I can do anything. There's a leader in me. There's a leader in me. The 7 habits help me see. There's a leader in me. There's a leader in me. Yes, I can do anything, anything. Because I know there's a leader in me. There's a leader in me. Yes, I can do anything, anything. The 7 habits help me see. There's a leader in me. There's a leader in me. There's a leader in me. I can lead myself, I can lead my friends, I can do anything. There's a leader in me. There's a leader in me. The 7 habits help me see. There's a leader in me. There's a leader in me.
Thank you, first grade. Y'all did a wonderful job. Give it up for first grade again, y'all. Next, we got the awesome Bulldogs. Oh, cheerleaders.
Move that drop 2 steps up. Watch out, step
Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started. We have another teacher who's coming down to join us. But before the panel starts, we'll just have them introduce themselves and tell who they are.
My name is Asante. First,
Hi, my name is Dejane Jacobs, and I'm in 7th grade.
Hi, I'm Sharon Bell. I am a parent of 2 children that go here and 1 on the way.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Spann. I currently teach 3 through 5 ELA, and I'm also the cheerleading coach.
Hi, I am Layla Bell, a 6th grader at Marion-Sterling. I am a cheerleader.
Hello, I'm Ms. Houghton, and I'm a 2nd grade teacher here at Marion-Sterling, of course.
My name is Heaven Jones. I'm in the 5th grade, and I'm on the Student Lighthouse team.
Hello, I'm Lakeisha Boyd. I teach 1st grade here at Marion-Sterling, and I'm also the facilitator for our Leader in Me program here.
Hello, my name is Akiran Gillespie. I'm an 8th grader at Marion-Sterling, and I'm also on the Marion-Sterling basketball team.
So our first question is, what is your favorite habit and why?
my favorite habit and why. My favorite habit is seek first to understand, then to be understood. It helped me listen to my teacher, then respond back.
My favorite habit is habit 3, put first things first. The reason why it is my favorite habit is because it helps me, because when I get home, the first thing that I have to do is either do my homework or do my chores before I play any games.
My favorite habit would have to be number 4, think win-win, because on an educator basis, it allows me to think about my students' need and how to operate my classroom. It's a peer tutoring system where they depend on one another and they're always looking to help one another. And so also, I think win-win when working with other staff in the building, whether it's collaborating on TBT or just helping out with behavioral or students who need extra assistance.
My favorite habit is sharpen the saw because I like to stay fit, get rest, and be healthy.
My favorite habit is habit 6 because I like to help my friends when we're in groups.
Next question is, how do you use the 7 habits at school?
Does that help you learn?
Hi, I use the 7 habits in my classroom. As I'm teaching my lesson, I integrate the 7 habits. So if we're reading a story about different characters, I usually ask my students, what habit did this character display? What habit could this character have displayed, and how would that have changed the story? I also use the 7 habits when dealing with my cheerleaders because I have to seek first to understand when you're dealing with teenagers.
I use them through plenty of situations where we do our schoolwork, and I do exactly what Ms. Penn said. I use the 7 habits as a guide through your work through class and through friends and family members here.
All right, I guess I'm back on. I could go for it. I would say that I use it whenever I'm planning the week prior, beginning with the end in mind. Whenever I schedule a newsletter to be sent home, I'm letting the parents know what our weekly goal is, what we're expecting homework-wise, and what they can expect in the weeks to come from my scholars.
So in my classroom on Mondays, we do deal, drop everything and lead, where we have that time to set aside to implement the 7 habits in our schedule as far as tracking data. They get out their leadership notebooks and track data at that time. I play different videos for the children to get our day started, to get our week started. And we also use the 7 habits in different lessons, meaning math lessons, reading lessons. I also make sure that the students are implementing those habits when they go home as well.
I teach middle school, so there's always an opportunity to incorporate the 7 habits into our daily life. So I use it as an opportunity. There's always a learning opportunity, whether there's a behavior that's happening positively or negatively, and I really try to use an opportunity to use the 7 habits. And I think that the kids have learned best that way, and they can incorporate the 7 habits then into their lives in a realistic way and be able to think win-win and learn to compromise, or to be proactive in, maybe they didn't plan properly. And had they been proactive in their planning, or, began with the end in mind, maybe the result would not have been what it was. So there's always an opportunity, whether it was negative or positive, there's always an opportunity for you to incorporate one of the 7 habits or multiple.
Next question, how do you use the 7 habits at home?
I use the 7 habits at home when I'm doing my chores, when my mommy tells me to clean up the room, and I do it, and I use the 7 habits.
I use the 7 habits at home by doing my homework and then playing with one of my best friends, because we laugh and play a lot, and at times we do our homework and stuff together. So we put first things first at home, because we're goofy.
How I use the 7 habits at home is I put first things first when I get in the house. So basically, my mom makes me do my chores every day, and then she can let me play or go outside. And sometimes I think when my sister or my brother is arguing about something, and that's how I use the 7 habits.
The way I use the 7 habits at home is by synergizing, because me, my mom, and my brother, we always synergize because we always just put our part in. Like if we have to wash the dishes, somebody just wash the dishes, like clean the house, and then if we have to go to the store, somebody will go to the store and stuff like that.
Next question, what does being a leader mean to you?
Being a leader means to me that you're basically following the 7 habits. You're helping others. When they're down, you bring them back up. You be the light in the world when there's nothing but darkness.
I'm gonna let heaven go.
Being a leader is important to me because I have 2 younger siblings and they look up to me, so I won't have to be a bad role model. I could be a good one.
Being a leader helps me by not being a follower and going down the wrong path.
Being a leader to me simply means just setting an example. As a teacher and a coach, you have so many young ladies looking up to you, so you just making sure that you're just headed down the right path because they're watching your every move, and everything you do, they will do too.
What do students learn through the Leader in Me process?
Students learn independence. They learn to be confident in themselves. They learn that when they make a mistake, that they have something in their toolbox that they can come back and depend on. I have seen the 7 Habits change a student really from the inside out, and that's I come back to why I think it's important to incorporate the 7 Habits just during your daily routine on the spot. And our scholars are very well versed in this language, and they believe it. And so they've been able to be strong through different situations and apply the 7 Habits to their lives, both in and out of school, and make really good choices because of it.
The way the Leader in Me program changed for me was like it helped me be like a better person, like towards people and myself. I used to put a lot of pressure on myself because I used to think if I did anything wrong, I just couldn't do it at all. And like being and doing this leadership program has helped me notice that everybody makes mistakes, and through those mistakes you get better, and you'll be able to do better next time you do it.
How I feel about being a leader. I have 2 daughters and 1 son, and I am an only parent. And being an only parent, you have to be a leader for your kids. You have to be there, you have to be forefront, you have to teach them how to be leaders. I teach my daughter every day that the 7 Habits are necessary for her life, not just for school, not just for home, but when you get to be an adult. You need to stay proactive because you need to stay working. If you don't work, you don't eat. And if you're not putting first things first, then you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing in the first place. You're not doing what I taught you. You're not doing what your teachers taught you, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles. And it makes everyone look bad. And you don't want to do that. You don't want to make yourself look bad. So you have to stay on top of things. You have to be a leader. You have to be a counselor to your friends. You have to be a big sister. You have to be a great daughter, a great grandchild. And as long as you're being a leader, people will follow. And if you are setting bad examples, then they're going to set bad examples for others. But luckily, I have great children that set good examples for their school, set good examples for me. They teach me things every day from the 7 Habits. They'll remind me, oh, no, Mom, you have to get up. You have to go. We have to go to the park. We have to do things. You have to come to the school. Like, you have to be up here. You have to be active in this. And it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
The Leader in Me program helped me out a lot too, because this year, at the beginning of the year, I was getting in trouble a lot, like with my attitude, and it helped me because I just had to believe in myself. Like, I believe that I was believing that I could just do it by myself. I was like, I could do it by myself. I don't need no help. I don't need no help. And then Miss Chestnut helped me out, and Miss Starr helped me out, Miss Span helped me out. Everybody was just helping me. They got me a counselor. And now I just feel much better about myself, waking up every morning, beginning with the end in mind, having a plan. I'm going to do good today. I'm going to do good. I'm going to ignore. I got to do what I got to do. So it helped me out a lot to get my attitude together, and I'm getting there little by little. What challenges does Leader in Me address to in school?
One of the biggest challenges Leader in Me addressed to me personally was having to be a student athlete, because through basketball, I knew, like, I love basketball and I always knew I wanted to play basketball, but I had to know how to be a student athlete. And then me being like into different things, like I was being a peer mentor and then doing all types of things, being a leader, I had to like put first things first, be proactive and like set goals and make sure everything was put together so that I could do it. So I had to make sure I had good grades so I could be able to go to practice and be able to play on teams. I had to make sure I had a good attitude, and then I had to make sure I did what I needed to do in class so I could be able to mentor the younger students so I could be able to make an impact on their lives as well.
So next, we're going to have our audience ask the student panel some questions. Any questions? I'm getting to you.
This is a question for Karen. So where are you going to high school next year?
I'm going to John Hay Cleveland School of Architecture and Design. Early college, and since I couldn't be able to go to like both parts of it, they said I'll be able to take early college courses while I'm at AD.
I have a question for the cheerleaders. How do you balance schoolwork with all the stuff that you have to do to practice for competition?
So who want to answer that question?
So, thanks for that amazing question. We do it by like you said, out of like all the stuff we go through, like school-wise and competition. Since we use habit number 7, which basically says balance your life. First of all, you can't cheer if you have a D and F, so we most definitely got to keep our schoolwork up. So that's basically how, because that one rule, and we have a loving coach who will tell you about yourself. That's so true.
How I balance it is it's different for me because I really care about cheerleading. It's like an important part of my life because that's how I met all my friends and that's how I met the person of my life right here. Miss Fan. I love you, Miss Fan.
Her mom says it's easy because she's smart.
Yeah, because Dejanay said we can't have any D's or F's when we do cheerleading, so I have to keep up my grades and do schoolwork and not get in trouble because if we get like detentions and stuff, that means we can't cheerlead. So I just keep handling my business.
I think I can help them out with this question. I hold them and they hold each other accountable of their actions. So usually sometimes before we start practice, I'm making sure they're getting their homework done. Anything they need, any subject they need help on, I'm assisting them in that. I do grade checks with all their teachers. If they have a D and an F, they cannot cheer, and sometimes I don't like C's. So they try to make sure their grades are high. And actually, last year in our competition, we were the squad with the highest GPA.
Any more questions from our audience? More questions?
I just want to add that we have our coaches, Coach Span and Coach Lewis. Coach Lewis coaches the basketball team, and as you know, Coach Span coaches the girls cheerleading squad. They're both very versed in the 7 habits, and as a middle school teacher, it has been extremely helpful that they have expected so much of their student athletes in my classroom. They are after their student athletes, and we work together, we synergize as colleagues to keep the kids where they need to be, and it's a constant communication going back and forth, and without them being on top of their student athletes with the 7 habits and expecting so much from them, our program in the junior high would not be what it is. So, thank you for that.
So thank you guys for coming to visit our wonderful school, and thank you guys for answering and asking questions for us. And now I'm going to give it back to Ms. Chestnut.
And can we celebrate and give Brazil a round of applause? Our original MCs from this morning, they had to go back to class to complete some work, and I literally, about 5 minutes ago, said, Brazil, you're on stage. Here is the agenda, here's who you need to call up, and so thank you so much, Brazil, you did a fabulous job. And I also did not pay her to tell that story. That is a real story, and so definitely a tearjerker. Thank you to all the panelists who were on the panel today. So thank you for that. And before we end our Leadership Day, again, a final thank you to our visitors and to our guests. Thank you for sharing this day with us and coming into our school. If there's anything that you saw in the classroom that you might want a picture of, or you want to know what the source is, let us know. Our teachers do a fabulous job of sharing resources and making sure that everyone has what they need. We truly are a team that synergizes and works together. So if you need that, let us know. Then we would also like everyone to, before you leave, please stop over. We have a sweet treat for everyone. And right next to the media center where you saw the data binders will be your gift to take before you leave. Again, thank you again for joining us for Leadership Day today. Have a wonderful day.